And for it to be faith, there has to be an element of this shouldn't work. Everybody knows looking at snakes on poles does not take the toxins out of your body. So for them to do it, writhing in agony, with their precious moments they had to live, to waste their time hobbling up to the center of the plain and looking up to a snake on a pole, it would take faith, childlike faith in what God had said to do. And I also think that when it worked, because it did work, that as a people, it would be so ingrained into their mind, something they would never be able to forget. Remember that time we were complaining and sinning, and God sent snakes, and we were dying, but then through something that was raised up on a stick out of the ground, if we looked to it with faith, we were all saved, and we didn't die, but we lived? Yeah, I definitely remember the time that happened. And they would tell that story, and it would be passed on, and ultimately the purpose for this whole thing was for that to be embedded into their heart as a nation, so that the day Jesus came, they were ready for him to unlock its true meaning. What are you talking about? Attention back to John chapter 3, please. Jesus speaking to the religious expert of the nation who knows the Bible but doesn't understand what it's saying and has no clue how he or anybody else who he teaches can get to heaven, can be born again, can see the kingdom of God. And one more time up on the screen, verse 14 says, "And as Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, even so must the Son of Man be lifted up." You see that brazen serpent, that fiery snake, it was all about Jesus. God so loved the world that when we were lost in sin, he was willing to send his Son to be wrapped up around a stick, a cross, and raised up in the air, so that whoever would believe in him would not perish, but would have everlasting life. And this is the gospel. And this is the good news that God has given to us.